Welcome to Volume 2 of the Royal Road to Card Magic. Hopefully you followed through Volume 1 and your confidence is high. You should be learning not just moves, but good material too. And I hope you've had a chance to get out there and try it and get that great feeling from doing good card magic. For now, let's move on to the glide, a section that once you've learned the move, contains one of the finest tricks in all of card magic. Now we continue along the Royal Road to Card Magic with a move that allows you to invisibly switch one card for another. It's called the glide. The glide is an excellent utility move which makes possible a whole range of effects. Its purpose is to show the card on the face of the deck and switch it for the card directly above it, retaining that card on the face. Now essentially you're going to deal with the second card from the face rather than the card on the face. To do this you must grasp the deck from above between the thumb and first finger. Now in actual fact the whole hand is going to hold the deck. These fingers however will wrap around the face like this so the tips are just contacting the face of the deck, like so. After I've shown a card, I lower the deck so it's horizontal, and now this card is facing downwards, and under cover of that action, I pull back on that card. So from here, I pull down. This now exposes the second card. It makes it very easy for me to contact that card and draw it out and lay it on the table. Now the action of showing the card and coming down is the cover for this, the movement of the fingers. So as I come down, the move is made. One more time. I pick up the deck, I show it, now I remove that second card, like so. A small variation, if the trick calls for it, is to look at the card yourself. So from here I come over and I look at the card myself. Again, I've drawn that card down, like so. I'm going to take that card like this, which is a slightly more natural way for some tricks to remove the card. Again, it's drawn out like that. So by contacting it with this thumb and taking it out as if I'm looking at the card, I can make the switch in a more natural way. So from here, I look at the card and I take the next card down, like so. And that's the glide. For the glide, I'll show you two things. First of all, let me remind you that the first finger and the thumb control the deck. These fingers roll around the deck, which help it to look natural and also help to cradle the deck. But because the control is here, it's simple for you to move these fingers back and pull that card down. Once again, by hitting that edge off the table, you can table the deck without exposing the card you pulled back. Another thing is if you hold the deck this way, you can make the glide again, but this time the card will move at an angle, but it's underneath your hand, like so. And you can take the card this way instead. Sometimes that may feel more natural. Let's try your luck this time, shall we? I'll shuffle the cards. Take any card that you like. Okay. Show it to everyone. I'll look away, make sure I don't see it. Okay. Everybody know the card? Mm-hmm. Did you look at it?
I looked at it.
That's important. Let's see. Put your card back about here. Very good. Now, I shuffle the cards. You know what a card is, but now if I shuffle, you have no idea.
No.
I have no idea either. Of course, I don't know what the card is. What I want you to do is to cut 3 piles. Okay? Keep concentrating on your card.
Concentrating.
How do you feel? Lucky?
I feel lucky.
Let's see. Okay. I get the feeling that's not your card. Obviously not.
Did you want me to say no?
No, don't help me. Don't help me. Honestly, don't help me. Don't help me.
No.
See, you're helping me. See? Okay, well that's an easy one, but don't help me. Don't help me. Let me do it. Let me test your reactions here. Don't feel too bad. That's not your card either. Look, I don't think you're even close. Give me a number between 1 and 10, and we'll do it that way. 1 and 10.
You want out loud?
Yeah. You want me to read your mind again?
Can you? Okay, 8.
Don't mess with Mr. Magic.
Sorry, Mr. Magic.
What did you say?
8.
See, I can't even remember when you tell me. I don't know, read your mind. Okay, 8. Not sure about 8. We'll try. Okay. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm pretty sure this is your card. Yep, definitely. What was your card?
The 6 of diamonds.
You saw that.
I think this is the one you were
Whoa.
looking for.
Nice. Well done. It was.
You had your money out of your pocket. I saw that. This is going to come. Over the years, there's one effect that many people mention as their favorite from Royal Road. It's called Design for Laughter, and this is, in fact, one of the finest effects of its kind in existence. It's a version of a classic sucker effect by Charlie Miller called the Dunbury Delusion. This is a much simpler version than Mr. Miller's, but it's equally effective. It's a sucker trick. That's the kind of a trick where we lead the audience to believe that we failed when in actual fact we're way ahead of them all the time. That makes the ending even more of a surprise. Begin by having a card selected from a shuffled deck. Any card can be selected. We'll use our Ace of Spades. That is controlled from the middle. We jog and shuffle off. Throw on top, so the ace is here, and then shuffle it to the bottom. And we now keep it on the bottom as we shuffle. I now invite someone to cut the deck into 3 piles. And I ask them to think lucky thoughts when they do this, because hopefully one of those 3 piles will have their card on the face. So they cut 1, 2, and 3. Now I know, of course, that their card is on the face of this packet. This is the original bottom of the deck. But watch. I begin by looking at this card. I show it to them. I look. No, this is not your card. And I lower the card like this as if for the glide. I don't glide anything. And I place the card in front of the 3 piles. And I drop these cards on top of the middle pile. And I show them this card. And again, I look at it myself, and I take it as if for the glide, without doing anything, and place it on the first. And I drop all of these on the 3rd pile. Again, I show them this card. I look at it myself. It's not this card either. Now, of course, it is their card, but keep talking. Don't let them stop you. Nope, it's not that card either. Now I come down and I perform the glide. And remove the next card up. Now at this point, I need to cover up the Ace of Spades. So now I take the next card as well, and I look at that as if I'm checking to see if that's their card. And I replace it on the bottom. As I replace it on the bottom, I have to square that ace underneath the jack. Now I'm ready to continue. I say, well, you didn't do too well there. Maybe we try again. Give me a number between 1 and 10. Now what they're thinking is, I didn't do too well there. You're the one that messed up the trick. And they'll usually let you continue, which is good. Say the number 7. Now we know the face card of the deck is not their card because we moved it to the 2nd position up. So we begin with a fair deal. That's 1. As I deal 1, at this very moment, I make the glide. So this action is covering the action of the glide, like this. Now I continue taking cards until I reach 6, the number before theirs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I stop. And I say, that would make this the 7th card. And I reach underneath, but I reach a little further and I take the ace. Like this. And I drop the cards on top. This is it. I'm sure this is your card. Of course, they're sure it isn't because they know their card is here. Which makes this all the more powerful. Just watch them grab these cards and look for another ace. Designed for laughter. Nate, choose any card you like. Okay. Okay then. Okay. Look at it. Show it to everyone else. Okay. Very good. And just put it back in the middle of the deck there. Okay, that's good. Now, touch your card.
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, you're not going to tell me? Okay, see how that works. Tell you what, I'm going to take out 4 cards. I'm going to have a little observation test. Let's see. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's very good. Like this. Okay. Did you see those cards?
Yeah.
No. Let's put these over here. And the observation test is very simple. Okay. All you have to do is concentrate.
Okay.
Okay. Now look, that card is red.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll do it again. This card is black. This card is black, and this card is red. Simple enough?
Simple enough.
Good. I'll do it one more time. There'll be questions afterwards.
All right.
All right. So, red, black, black. In fact, look, I'll put that one there. You ready for the question?
Yes.
What color is that card?
Should be red.
Sure?
Well, that's what it should be, yes.
Should be?
Yeah.
What was the card you chose?
I chose the Queen of Spades.
That card is definitely black.
Mm.
Looks like that.
Mm.
Man. Effects where cards change from one to another are very surprising, and the observation test is an excellent example because the change comes completely out of left field. To do this, have a card selected and control it to the bottom using the overhand shuffle control, which you should know by now. Let's imagine the card is the Jack of Clubs. Now I have the card on the face of the deck. Without letting them see the face so they know their card is there, I run through and I take out the 4 twos. Now to do this, as you run through the cards and you find a 2, move it up in the deck like this and leave it there. Okay? A little bit of practice will show you how easy this is. Simply move it up. As soon as you come to a 2, move the whole spread up like this. Leave it there by holding it with the thumb and bring the deck down and continue spreading. It'll just stay in place. You don't need to hold it anymore. And there's the next one. I bring the whole spread up, hold it in place with my thumb, bring the rest of the spread down and continue spreading like this. That leaves the 4 twos sticking out of the deck. It's equally easy to do with the cards held vertically. Now at this point they don't know what cards these are. I simply remove the cards and I say, and this is how I take them out. Notice how my hand goes to the left side as I'm looking at them, like this, and simply moves them out to the right, and they pivot on this finger. Okay, if that finger's not there, they'll just kind of come straight out. So keep that finger there, so they pivot around. As they pivot around, my fingers wrap around the back, my thumb presses here, and I have the packet. I put these on the face, and I say I'm going to use the 4 twos. Now again, I look at the deck so only I can see them, and I take off the 2s, but I push over 1 card too many. That's the Jack. And as I square everything up, my pinky sits behind the Jack, holding a break, like this. So I have the 2s, I push 1 card too many, and as I square everything up, my pinky keeps a break between all 5 cards and the rest of the deck. And I lift everything off. And the deck can be placed aside. It's not used in the rest of the trick. So what I really have here are 4 twos and a Jack. Notice how the 2s are in black-red order, or red-black order, but they must alternate. That's very important. I'm going to hold the packet like this. Supposedly only 4 cards, but there are actually 5. And I'm going to begin by showing 4 cards without showing the jack. Holding the packet like this, ready for the glide, I take the very first card, no glide, and I place it face up. I then take the second card in the same way, no glide. At this point, as I turn this over, I'm going to make the glide with these fingers. What this does is it separates that card from the other 2. And these 2 are essentially squared as one card. I take this, making sure it's squared with my finger. I take the double and I lay it on top of these 2. You're going to have to practice that to make sure they land square. Now, because you're placing those 2 cards on top of 2 that are already there, even if they separate a little bit, it's okay. That leaves you with 1 card in your hand, and that's another 2. So what I just did was showed 4 2s and nothing else. One more time. From the bottom. 1. Glide as I show that one. Take the 2 on top, not the bottom one. Lay those onto these. That jack is really there. And then show that card singly and drop it on top. Now we're going to repeat exactly the same sequence. Say, okay, I've shown you red, black, red, black. Now's the test. Black. I'm not showing that during the trick, I'm only showing you here. Bottom card. Red. I make the glide. Now I take the 2 and I say, and black. I'm going to ask you one question about that card. Now I take the 2s, supposedly only 3, there are really 4. I drop these on top of the deck, and I quietly cut the deck. What color was that card? Now usually they'll say the color that was missing. And I say, well, what suit was the card? Whatever they say, well, you're close. In actual fact, this is your card, the jack of clubs. And that's the observation test. The glimpse is an important tool which will allow you to gain knowledge of the top, bottom, and in some cases the middle card for use later, perhaps as a key card or perhaps as a card you may want to force. Whatever the reason, you must make sure the glimpse happens at the right moment and is subtle. The glimpses that you'll learn in the Royal Road to Card Magic are actually very good, but timing is important. Let's imagine that Jeff has just finished shuffling the cards. While he shuffles, I would look away and I'd hand over and ask Jeff to give me the deck back. Now look how I raise my hand. It's a little higher than it has to be. And I keep it here until I feel the cards, and I turn just enough to see the face card. Because I've held my hand slightly higher, I can see that's the ace of spades right there. As soon as I've seen the ace, I look right at Jeff and continue with the trick. If necessary, I may even shuffle the cards and retain that ace on the bottom. That's a very clever glimpse. That's glimpse number 1. The top card glimpse taught in the Royal Road is very simple and very natural. It's important that you don't look at the deck too much, but at the right moment, it works perfectly. So, I would turn to someone and ask them if they would like to help me. As I do that, I've glimpsed the jack of hearts on top of the deck. Simply, these fingers are going to push that top card towards the left. In other words, towards the left thumb. The left thumb should not be too high or it won't let the card push out. It must be down a little bit on the deck so the card can push over like this. Okay? One more time, like that. So this finger pushes like so. Try that a few times. And now, when you turn your hand over, that covers this action. So if I turn my hand over like this, the card is pushed out. It's actually pushed out just a little bit less than that. But so you can see it here. And as I turn my hand down, I simply pull the card back again, like this. So one more time, like that. Now I wouldn't keep my hand as close to the table here. I'd actually raise my hand to eye level so that I don't have to look down at the deck. So I'd raise it like this and get the card, just for a second. Another good way is, because you have to look at the deck, is to go from here and say, would you help me? And look around. So in other words, I'm looking from one place to another. And as I look here, I just happen to see the card as well. That's the top card glimpse. Shuffle the cards. Why don't you pick a card?
Absolutely.
And you can pick any card you like.
All right.
Okay. Show it to everyone. Okay. And just drop it into the middle of the deck like that. Okay. Now shuffle up. Now you have a card in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can explain how this works. I'm going to go through the deck. I want you to make sure you see your card as I go
Okay.
through. Okay. Sometimes people think I can steal a card out, maybe get it into my pocket, but that would be much harder than this trick, to be honest with you. You see it?
Yes.
You saw it? It's definitely there? Okay. Now, let's say we were to cut the deck in an interesting way. Anything at all. Your card is in here somewhere, okay? Now the position that it's in is, is actually quite important. All you have to do is name the card and it'll appear at its special position, which is, if you were to spell down the deck, you would find your card. Let's say we were to take the, now you chose the Jack of Hearts a minute ago.
Yes.
So let's say the Jack of Hearts. JACKOFHEARTS. And we would find the Jack of Hearts. Okay? So all you have to do is just name your card. So take the cards.
Okay.
Okay? Name your card.
The 3 of clubs.
3 of clubs. And spell the card.
Okay.
T.
THREEOFCLUBS.
And that's it.
All right.
Like that.
All right.
Several years ago in the Magic Castle in Hollywood, I was talking to my friend David Regal, and we agreed that the following trick is one of the finest ever invented. It's called Gray's spelling trick, and it's completely dumbfounding to lay people, if presented properly. Shuffle a deck of cards and have any card selected. In this case, it'll be our blue back ace of spades. As they're looking at that card, glimpse the bottom card of the deck. For this explanation, it'll be our key card, the 4 of clubs. To have this card replaced, we're going to undercut the deck. To do that, I hold the deck not flat in the palm like this, but raised at fingertips, like that. So there's a space underneath the deck. With the right hand, I'm going to undercut by pulling out the lower half of the deck this way. As I pull this out, I allow the top half to fall onto my palm and invite them to replace their card on top. Once this is done, this packet is slapped on top and squared. We can now shuffle the cards by shuffling the top third, pulling off a block, the middle third, and shuffling the bottom third. That looks like this. I shuffle off about a third. I pull off a block of cards. Now I know that somewhere in there is their selection of my key card, and I shuffle off the rest. And I can repeat that if I like. Now I say, maybe you've heard of magicians who can steal a card out of the deck and put it in their pocket. I promise I haven't done that. In actual fact, I want you to keep an eye out for your card. And I begin spreading through the deck. What I'm actually doing is looking for my key card. When I find that card, I know the card directly before it will be their selection. Now let's see. There's my key card, the 4 of clubs. And the card before that is, of course, the ace of spades. So as I spread through, I keep a good eye out for my card. I spot it. I see the card in front of it, and I'm going to begin spelling, starting with the ace. I know that's the selection, so I spell ace of spades as I'm spreading through. ACEOFSPADES. Of course, I do this silently. There's no trick otherwise. Now the next card after I've spelled S, I'm going to spell also. You'll see why in a moment. I continue spreading, This one is the seven of hearts, so I'm going to spell that. S-E-V-E-N-O-F-H-E-A-R-T-S. That leaves one card. I'm going to cut that card to the bottom. Now, if there were more cards, like so, S-E-V-E-N-O-F-H-E-A-R-T-S, I also cut those to the bottom. If there were fewer cards, like so, I would spell S-E-V-E-N-O-F-H and begin at the face, E-A-R-T-S. And I need to cut the pack. And in all cases, I address them by saying, did you see your card yet? Of course they're going to say yes, because I've already spelled past their card as I'm displaying the deck. And as I respond, I'm going to return these cards to the deck, but cut. So instead of returning them to the face, I place them underneath the deck and turn the deck over. And this is the situation. I'm ready to spell two cards, the seven of hearts and the card they selected, which in this case is the ace of spades. At all times, I'm going to refer to their card as the card they are thinking of. It's a very powerful thing to use in card magic. Even though they removed it themselves, call it the card they're thinking of. And they may think they even just thought of the card. So what about the seven of hearts? Well, we use that in the presentation. I say, have you ever tried to call for a card? Perhaps when you're playing a game like poker or gin, there's a particular card you want and it comes up just at the right time. That proposition is enough to explain what's about to happen. I say, let's give an example. Let's say I have to call for the seven of hearts. Now, it would be pretty lucky if it was on top of the deck like that, and you probably think that would be luck. But in actual fact, we can get the seven of hearts to arrive at a very specific point in the deck. I'm going to say seven of hearts and snap my fingers. Now, the first thing you have to observe there is that when you say seven of hearts, it literally has to just come off the top of your head. Just say, if I were to say the seven of hearts, as if it wasn't important. And then I snap my fingers. That's the moment of magic. I say, let's spell the seven of hearts. S-E-V-E-N-O-F-H-E-A-R-T-S. And we find the seven of hearts. That gets a good reaction. Turn that card over and drop the rest of the deck on top. And say, why don't you try it? I won't even touch them. And I hand the deck directly to them. They name their card, snap their fingers if they can, and they deal cards down, spelling their cards one after another. A-C-E-O-F-S-P-A-D-E-S. And arrive at the ace of spades. One of the strongest card tricks ever invented. Take my word for it. If you want to try it a different way, look at the book. You'll find that in that case, they recommend that you deal cards and they spell it mentally and ask you to stop on the last letter. You remember we did that in Thought Stealer as well. It's a very strong way to do it, but I personally prefer to let them deal the cards themselves. A great spelling trick. The Royal Road to Card Magic is a beautifully constructed book. A course designed to follow each chapter after the other, building your knowledge so that by the end of the book you have a very rounded understanding of sleight of hand with cards. The key card section is interesting because it explains two techniques which are explained 2 pages previously in a trick called Gray's spelling trick. But I'm going to explain them again, give them a little more time. You have a card selected and you want to set it beside a key card. In this case, it'll be our 4 of clubs special key card. And you hold the deck at fingertips, not low in the palm, but at fingertips, like this. Now, in order to set this card beside this one, I'm going to undercut. To undercut, this hand removes the lower portion of the deck, like so. And the top portion will be allowed to fall onto the palm. That's why we create this space at the bottom of the hand. So I remove like so, drop, and invite them to return their card. So there's our blue back ace of spades. Our key card goes right on top, like so. And that's the key card undercut. Very, very simple. One more time, at speed. At fingertips, like so. I undercut, they return the card, and I slap on top. And that's the key card undercut. Once you have the cards in position in the center of the deck, you can now shuffle the deck. This is called the undercut shuffle because I'm going to shuffle the top third When I get to the block in the middle where I know their card resides alongside my key card, I take a full block of a third of the deck, like so. I don't shuffle that block, and I shuffle off the rest. This does not disturb the 2 cards in the middle of the deck. That's the key card undercut and the undercut shuffle. All right, let's use 2 decks for this. And you can shuffle cards? Mm-hmm. Okay. Shuffle the cards. As much as you like, any way you like. Do this. You guys have been talking. Okay. Very good. So as soon as you're convinced that your deck is shuffled,
Should I shuffle it more?
if you want to.
Okay. Oh, I can shuffle.
Yeah.
I can do better that
Yeah.
way.
Okay. She has the hands of a sturgeon.
Thanks.
All right, let's switch decks. Okay.
Okay.
You take mine, and I'll just spread mine out like that for you, and I'll spread yours out as well.
Okay.
And I want you to take any card at all. Don't let me see it. Don't let anyone see it but yourself. But remember the card. Okay. Good. Put your card back to the deck. Okay. Very good. Cut the deck and complete the cut. I'll look away. I don't want to know where your card is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to cut the cards again? You can if you like. It's up to you.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any idea where my card is?
No.
Can I have any idea where your card is?
No.
Okay, switch decks. Okay, do exactly what I do. Go through the deck, find your card, and then place it on the table. Okay, so
Face down.
yeah, right beside mine. Right here. Don't let anybody see it. Okay? All right. Now, you're the only one that looked at your card. I'm the only one that looked at my card. So no one else could have helped us, even if they wanted to. Okay? What card did you take?
The Jack of Spades.
Seriously?
Don't look at me like that. Yeah.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah, really.
Remember I said do exactly what I do? You actually did exactly
Oh, wow.
what I did. Okay. There we go. One of the great things about the Royal Road to Card Magic is it's absolutely stuffed with classic effects. And this is one of them. It's called Do As I Do, and uses 2 decks of cards, which makes it novel. It's important that the decks have different colored backs, blue and red. One of the decks is handed to someone to shuffle. Jeff, shuffle the cards. And I take the next card and I shuffle these 2. When I begin shuffling, I note the bottom card using the glimpse. In this case, we'll use the Ace of Spades to make it really simple. And I shuffle retaining that card on the bottom using the overhand shuffle control for the bottom card. So after the shuffle, my Ace of Spades remains on the bottom of the deck. And once Jeff has finished shuffling his cards, we're going to exchange decks in order to make things really fair. Now I say that, but of course it isn't really fair, but by saying it, a little lie helps the effect along. Hand me the deck, you take your deck. That makes things really fair, right?
It does.
So, I'm going to spread my cards on the table like this. You do the same. Now, Jeff is actually a magician, so he's used to spreading cards on the table. But even normal people will be able to spread the cards enough, even if they do so messily, just so they can see as many cards as possible. It's important, of course, that the bottom card, the Ace of Spades, remains in place, so keep a note of that. Invite them to move their finger over the spread and stop anywhere they like on a card that they like, okay? Which they remove and look at, but it's important that they see the card alone. No one else gets to see the card. The reason for that is that I'm going to do the same thing. And I can't let anyone else see this card. In this case, I've taken the 4 of clubs. It doesn't matter. I will not be using the 4 of clubs in this effect at all. So I look at a card, but I don't have to remember it. When I'm done, I place it at the top of the deck, at this end of the spread. You do the same. Good. Now, sometimes they may spread the deck the other way, maybe if they're left-handed. So just make sure that it goes to the top of the deck and close everything up, nice and neat, and cut the deck anywhere you like. And to make it fair, I'll even look away. And what happens is, as Jeff cuts the deck, he places my key card, in this case the Ace of Spades, directly above his card. Okay? Now he can cut that deck as many times as he likes, and the Ace of Spades will stay right above his selection. So he can cut a few more times if he likes. Good. And I'll do the same. Now, to make sure it's absolutely fair, we exchange the deck again, like so. Now we're going to find each other's card in the other deck. So I'm going to find the card that I selected, and Jeff is going to find the card that he selected. Now what actually happens is I look for my key card, and I take the next card down. Jeff, however, will simply find his card. So let's look. You find your card. As he's doing that, I keep looking for the ace of spades. Now there it is there. Now the next card is the card further down. In this case, because the deck is face up, it's the one above it. So we have the queen of diamonds as the next card. That your selection?
That's correct.
Okay. So I take this card out and I pretend that's the card that I chose. And I invite Jeff to place his card beside it. In the book, you'll note that it recommends the cards are placed like this. That does look pretty, but I find for the revelation, it's better to have the cards side by side. Now I ask him, wouldn't it be amazing if our cards were the same value? If I picked an ace and you picked an ace?
That would be,
That would be a coincidence. What was the card you selected?
Queen of Diamonds.
Really? This is the moment where every card trick either fails or succeeds. Don't simply show those cards and throw them on the table. Make it into something. Make the revelation something special. What was your card?
The Queen of Diamonds.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I apparently am a little bit surprised. Why am I surprised? What's the reason? Well, you're not going to believe this. Now, at this point, of course, the end is pretty much clear. But you want to build the suspense just for a second longer. And then turn over the two cards to show they're the same. That's a classic effect called do as I do. Shuffle the cards. Very good. And cut the cards into 3 piles.
Sure.
1, 2, and 3. Pick any pile that you like. That's good. Look through and think of any card that you see. Just think of the card.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're thinking of the card. You're the only one who knows what it is. I'm getting a feeling. The feeling's a little strange. I'm sure I've had this before. Yeah, it's a number 6. Number 6. I don't know why that's important. Maybe, well, let's try something. Pick up the cards.
Okay.
I'll look away. I want you to count the cards onto the table, face up, one at a time. And look to see where your card is. Actually count the cards silently and remember where your card falls. Remember I said the number 6.
Okay.
Okay. Count the cards, that's good.
Sorry. Let's go this way.
Any way you like, whatever's. Turn all the cards face down. Okay, that's good. Was your card the 6th card?
Mm-mm.
Wonder why that was important. Tell you what. Take the cards, drop them on top of any pile. Do you remember where your card was?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that. Shuffle these.
Okay.
That's good. And drop them on top of the deck. That's good. And cut the deck as many times as you like. Good. Now. I'm going to leave them in exactly the way that you cut them. It wasn't the 6th card down. No. Where was it?
14th.
It was 14 cards down.
Mm-hmm.
See, I knew it. 14. Well, 14's actually, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't feel bad.
I know.
Don't feel bad. Because you know what? I was actually very, very close.
Really?
I saw a 6, but what I really saw was a 9. You turn it upside down, it's a 9. Do you believe a word of this? You're probably wondering what I mean. Actually, I think I was having a premonition. Remember you cut the cards, you shuffled, you thought of a card, you shuffled, you put all the cards together, you shuffled, the whole deck was mixed up. And I saw a 6, but it turned out to be a 9. What was the name of the card that you thought of?
Ace of Diamonds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The ace of diamonds, the card you were thinking of.
Yeah.
Right there. At last.
Thank God.
The three piles is yet another baffling effect right in the middle of Royal Road to card Magic. And this is one that there are very many variations of in Magic, but the one in Royal Road is as good as anything I've seen. It begins with a shuffled deck, so this could be borrowed and mixed up by anybody. So I have no idea where any of the cards are, and is cut into three piles by my assistant. In this case, you'll be helping me, Jeff. Jeff has shuffled and cut the cards. I can't know where any of the cards are, and I make a very important point of that because it's true. Now he can choose any pile. Let's say he chooses the middle pile, and he can think of any card that he sees in that pile. Again, that's very, very strong. He's merely thinking of a card. And once he's thought of the card, he's going to shuffle the pile, which makes it even more fair. So I'm going to stress all of these points before I get to the less fair point where I get control of his card. How do I do that? Well, let's use an example. Let's take the blue-backed ace of spades as our selection and insert it into the middle. So, Jeff, you would pick any pile. In this case, you're going to pick the middle pile. Now look through it and think of any card. And you see the card there. Quite clearly, he's looking at this point at the ace of spades. But he could think of any card, naturally. Now shuffle the cards. Now when Jeff mixes up the cards, he now loses control of his thought of card, in this case the ace of spades. So again, it seems very, very fair. Now I'm going to have him find out where his card is, and I'm going to do this under the pretense of naming the position of his card. And I always say sixth. So I'm going to say, I believe that the card you're thinking of is the sixth card down. Before we check that, let's use another little visual aid. This will be our key card. That would be whatever card he happens to shuffle to the top of the packet. And just dealing the cards here, I'm going to look away at this point during the trick. So I apparently can't see anything. But as he begins dealing, I note the first card he deals. So I know the first card he dealt is the four of clubs, my key card. And I look away for the rest as he deals down. Now, Jeff will silently count to his card. And he'll note the position of his card, but he'll continue so that I can't know where it is. These instructions have to be very clear to him. So he just continues dealing, notes where his card is, and completes the packet. So you continue dealing down. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Jeff would note this was the position of his card and continue dealing until the end, like so. Now, it's not the sixth card down. Of course, if it was the sixth card down, thank you and good night. That's the end of the effect. We just had a miracle. And don't try and complete the effect, whatever you do. And you're probably best not to do anything else afterwards either. It doesn't get any better than that. But most of the time, it won't be the sixth card down. So Jeff will tell me that I was wrong.
You were wrong.
And but you do know where it is.
Yes.
So before you tell me anything, I want you to drop that packet onto any one of those packets.
Okay.
Drop the other packet on top. And cut the cards as many times as you like. No matter how often he cuts the card, so long as he completes the cut like that, that's very good. And cut again. The relationship between the key card and the thought of card will stay the same. Now what I'm going to do now is look through the deck, apparently looking for a joker. I'm going to find my key card, the four of clubs. And I'm going to cut that, but I'm not going to cut this to the bottom or to the top. I'm going to move down 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these 5 cards are potentially, one of them could be his card. I don't know yet. But I'm going to cut there. So 6 cards from the packet that he chose are on the bottom, and the remainder are on top, in order. So I place the deck down. I won't do anything else. Okay? But all I need to know now is where his card was. Now remember, my stack starts 6 cards from the bottom. It starts at that point here. Okay? I'll leave that step to the side. Normally it would be square. Where was your card?
It was the 14th card.
The 14th card. I now know exactly where his card is. Okay? Starting from here, I can take off 6. So if I take 6 away from 14, I know how far it is from the top. And 6 away from 14 is 8. So if we were to count down 8 cards, we would find your card, which is the ace of spades. Now there are many ways to do this. If you get lucky, for instance, if he chose the 10th or the 11th card, I would use my name. In my case, Paul Wilson is 10 letters. So I can count down to the 10th card, or I can count down 10 cards and look at the next card. That's one thing I've learned. If he happened to have the 5th card down and his card was a 7, we would say, well, if you spell 7, S-E-V-E-N, look at the next card, that's your card. If he chose an ace, 3 cards down would work. But in this case, 8 is a little bizarre, so I'm just going to say, I get a feeling that the number 8 is important. Okay, some people, 7 is the lucky number, but for me it's 8. I'm just making that up, but it sounds like I always say that, which is another important point to this trick. So I know where your card is, and I'm just going to tell you. So I'm going to have you deal down to the 8th card, and that'll be your card. There's another way of doing it. See, well, I don't want to touch the deck. Okay? You would pick the deck up and begin dealing, and I would silently count to the 8th card. And as soon as you're holding the 8th card, I'd say, stop right there. What was the card you're thinking of for the first time? Tell me what the card was you're thinking of. Now, this is the first time that anybody knows what card he thought of. He names it, he turns over the card in his hand. That would be his thought of card. What if the card is on the bottom section? Well, in this case, we simply turn the deck face up, and we tell them to deal down to the position using the same rules I just discussed. Of course, sometimes it'll get better than that. Sometimes it could be the top card or the bottom card. In either case, it's another miracle. You say, well, simply turn over the top card, or simply turn over the deck, and you have a miracle. That's called the 3 piles. It's a great trick. Okay, Aaron,
Yes.
ready?
Yep.
Okay, good. I need you to cut some piles. Cut 3 piles, okay? Let me just do it. And point to one of the piles. This one, okay? And another one. Okay, good. Take the one that's left and shuffle it, okay? Ready? Mm-hmm. Look through the cards and think of any card you see, okay? And then take it out. That's good. You can mix those cards up again if you like. Okay, and just drop them on top of the middle pile. Okay, that's good. Show the card that you chose to everybody else. Make sure I don't see it. Okay. And then drop it on top of that big pile. Take the cards that are left, shuffle those. Drop it on top. Just so I can't estimate where your card is. Again, cut the cards and complete the card. I won't even look at that. You done? Mm-hmm. You want to cut again?
Sure.
Whoopee. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to try and find your card. Yeah, I think yeah. I think your card is the 24, no? The 13th card, no. No. The 8th card from the top.
Are you sure?
No, actually, it's still moving. The second card from the top. The second card from, no. What was your card?
4 diamonds.
Wow, look at that, right on top of the deck. Like that.
You're good.
The 26th card makes use of a very interesting form of key card. Up until now, you've been using cards that are in direct contact with the card you wish to find. This is a remote key card. It's not in direct contact with that card. In fact, it's a set distance away. The secret being, you know how far away it is. In this case, it's 26 cards away. Here's the deck. It begins shuffled, and in checking that there are 52 cards, you count the card, but you take note of the 26th card from the top. This is very simple. Simply deal the cards face up in a pile as you count the cards. Count to 26. Remember the 26th card. In this case, it'll be our key card, the 4 of clubs, like so, and continue dealing like this, paying little attention to the deck. Once you've dealt all the cards, you can shuffle the cards, but you must maintain the 26th card. So the secret is to overhand shuffle, but don't go as far as 26. Simply shuffle just over a third, and instead of throwing these on top, tilt these up like this and throw these underneath. Very simple. Like that. Now we know the 26th card is still the 4 of clubs. So we're going to have the deck cut like this. into 3 piles. 1, 2, 3. It's important to tell them that the piles should be roughly the same, so that the middle card of the center pile will still be our key card, like this. Now, if I were to take these cards and shuffle them and drop them on top of this pile, the top card of this pile will always be 26 away from the key. Not so if I let them take the bottom pile. So I must force them to take a card from this pile. So I ask them to choose any pile. Now this is called equivocate. It's a form of force. They can point to any pile. Let's say they say this one. Well, that's the wrong pile. So I say and point to another one. This one? Well, this is the right pile. So they have 2 piles. Now I say pick up any pile. If they pick up this one, I ask them to give it to me and to shuffle the other. There are many ways of doing this, but the idea is to simply make sure you end with this pile. If they pick this one first, fine. If they pick this one and then this one, that leaves them with this one. We'll go over that force more later, but it's a very simple force. Once you force this pile on them, have them shuffle, look through, take out any card, and show it to everybody. Now, they've apparently just thought of this card. These cards are then dropped on top of the middle pile. And once this has been shown to everybody but me, this is dropped on top of the double pile. It is now automatically 26 cards from my key. This means they can pick up the remaining pile, shuffle it as much as they like, and then drop it on top of the selection, apparently losing it completely. And to make things even fairer, they can cut as often as you like. It will not disturb the relationship between the key and the selection. So where to go from here? Well, to begin with, we must find our key. I take the deck and I start running through looking for my key card, the 4 of clubs. As soon as I find it, I'm going to begin counting. Now there it is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do this silently, of course. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I now return to the face of the deck to continue counting. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And there's the selection, which I cut to the top. I say, at this point, I don't want to reveal the card too quickly. I say, I have no idea what your card is. It could be anywhere in the deck. Let's see if I can find it in an interesting way. So we know their card is on top of the deck. There are many revelations you can use. The following one is very visual. You have the card on top of the deck. I'm going to take the cards in this hand. As I do that, I raise the front of the deck so the top of the deck is just out of view along their eye line. As I do that, I push over the top card, like so. Now I'm going to throw the deck into this hand. As I do that, air pressure is going to hit that card and force it to flip over in midair. So as I do that, I throw the card down and it flips over like this. I'll do it one more time. It's very hard to do slow. Hey Nate, how would you like to pick a card? That'd be good. I'll tell you, why don't you think of a card? So just grab a bunch of cards out of there.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. And I'm going to have you think of a card.
Okay. Ready?
You get one?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay.
Wait, I forgot. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
The exit's over there. Do you know what his card is?
No.
Okay, so you're the only one who knows what the card is. Just in case anything goes wrong. Take your card out and show it to everyone else, then put it here. Don't let me see it. Okay. Everyone seen the card?
Yes.
Good. Put the card down so I can't see it.
Okay.
Good. Shuffle these cards. Okay. And then drop them on top of the deck. Good. Take your card and drop it on top of those. Now you just shuffled those cards, so we know I don't know any of the cards even near your card. And cut the deck. Okay, very good. And maybe cut a little bit deeper. So that, okay, I want to bury the card quite far down. Now before you actually drop these on top, shuffle these as well. Okay, that's good. Okay, so those are mixed up too.
Yeah.
Drop them on top. Very good. Now cut the deck and complete the cut so I can't know where your card is. Okay. Complete. And cut again. Very good. Okay. Okay, now hopefully you see your card in there somewhere. Now let's see. Yeah. Yep, definitely. That's your card. Right there. And I hope you're as relieved as I am. All right, let's shuffle these like this. And do you ever play poker?
No.
No, it's a great game. It's a great game. But you've probably heard of something called tells, which are used in poker. Is when you look at someone's body language to determine whether or not they have what they pretend to have. Sometimes people bet as if they've got a big hand, but sometimes they're bluffing. You ever bluffed before?
Yes.
Maybe once or twice. Well, you're going to try and bluff me now, but in actual fact, your body language is pretty hard to read. You're very calm and collected, and you're even sober today, which is nice. So what I'm going to have
4 or 5 hours.
for 4 or 5 hours. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take the deck. I'm going to deal it into, let's say 5 or 6. 6 is a good number. Okay, to give you a pretty wide choice. Okay, I'm going to deal the whole deck out like that. Now you could do this, but I'll do it as quickly as I can. And you're going to take a card from any one of these piles. Okay, I'll look away when you do that. Now at the moment you should be deciding on which pile you want to take. Okay. You decided on one?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to figure out which one you're going to take from. I'll tell you what, I'll look away. Take a card from the middle of the pile, look at it, and then drop it on top of the pile. Okay, tell me when you've done that.
Okay.
I'll look away. Look at it. Okay. You can actually drop it on top of any pile you like. It doesn't have to be the one you took it from. You've done that?
Yep.
And now gather up the piles one on top of the other so that your card is lost in the middle somewhere. Okay. All right, you've done that as well.
Yes.
Okay, now your body language is very hard to read, but I'm going to try and read your voice instead. Cut the deck anywhere you like. Complete the cut. Pick up the cards, and over here I want you to deal the cards face up in the pile and call out the names of all of the cards as you do this. Just keep calling out the cards, and try and keep a steady voice as you do it.
Okay.
Okay.
8 of clubs, 7 of hearts, King of clubs, King of spades, 3 of clubs, Jack of diamonds, 6 of diamonds, 5 of hearts, 10 of clubs, 9 of spades, 2 of spades, 6 of spades, King of diamonds, Queen of diamonds, 6 of hearts, 9 of hearts, King of hearts, 7 of spades, Ace of clubs, 5 of spades, 10 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, 4 of hearts, 8 of spades, 2 of hearts, 1 of hearts, 10 of hearts, 3 of spades, 3 of diamonds, Jack of clubs, 4 of diamonds, 8 of hearts.
Just hold on a second. I don't know if it was because you were laughing a minute ago, but I got a feeling about one of the cards. Have you just gone past your card in the last 5 or 6 cards?
Yes.
Pick up like 5 or 6 cards so that your card is definitely there. I'm not going to look. Okay? And mix them up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay? And now call out the cards in any order. Do it just slowly. And then you can call out your card at any point you like.
3 of diamonds, Jack of clubs,
Stop. Say the Jack of clubs again.
Jack of clubs again.
That's it, the Jack of clubs. Is that your card?
Yes.
Oh, well done. The non-poker voice is an effect that relies as much on acting as it does on the method. Perform this for poker players and they'll really believe that you can read their voice. To do this, you need to remove all the cards of one suit. Now in this case, I've taken out all the clubs. They don't have to be in order, just remove all the clubs. And to make sure the trick works, you also have to remove 4 cards from the deck. One of them is any one of the clubs. So you take a club and any 3 other cards. And these are placed aside. take the clubs and place them. Now you notice we've marked these for you, okay, so you can follow these. Place 6 of them on top of the deck and 6 of them on the bottom of the deck. Now you're ready to begin. It's good to give the deck a false shuffle. A riffle shuffle is perfect here. Cut the cards. This is the upper packet here. This is the lower packet. And you're going to riffle these together. Make sure you riffle enough cards off of the lower packet to leave that bottom portion intact. And when you riffle these onto these, make sure you leave enough on top to leave the top portion intact. So after the riffle shuffle, I riffle a block like this. I riffle the cards together, and I leave enough on top to make sure none of the clubs are disturbed. So my deck is still set with 6 on top and 6 on the bottom. Now the deck is handed to someone and you ask them to deal the deck into 6 piles. Now this takes a little bit of time, so it might be important to talk about a poker game. I usually tell a joke about a poker game that I was once in. As they deal 6 piles, and because of the cards that you set on top and bottom, the top card of these piles will be clubs and the bottom cards will be clubs. So the first one, of course, the first 6 clubs. They continue dealing, like so, until the deck is exhausted. So they deal every single card in the deck. That's the reason why we removed 4 cards at the beginning, is to make sure there's an even number of cards in each pile. If we were to leave the 4 in, 2 of the piles would be 1 card shorter than the others. So now you can see each pile has a club on the top and a club on the bottom. Now my back would be turned so that I can't see what goes on next. Any card can be removed from any packet, but you must tell them to remove it from the middle of the packet. It's important they don't choose the top or bottom card. So let's say they take this card here. Now this card is the 3 of hearts. Now I'm going to leave the 3 of hearts face up. Of course it would be face down during the trick, so you can see what happens to it. Now it goes on top of the packet that he chose it from. In actual fact, you can ask him to drop it on top of any packet. And he's invited to gather the cards up in any way that he likes so that his card is lost in the middle of the deck. So I can drop this card, these cards here, and so on until the deck is gathered up. And he can cut the deck as many times as he likes. Now remember, my back is turned. I haven't seen the card he selected. I don't know where he took it from. I don't know where he put it. But I do know this. It's between 2 clubs. In actual fact, if he were to deal out the cards right now, as soon as he names a club, if he names any card after that club that is not another club, it's his card. Let me explain that. We deal the cards like this, one at a time. Now look, here's a club. It's the Queen of Clubs. Now as soon as I hear him with my back turned say the Queen of Clubs, I'm listening to hear that the next one is also a club. He's going to say the 6 of clubs. So I know that's not his card. But if he continues dealing, Jeff, would you mind? I'm listening for a club. As soon as I hear it, keep going.
Ace of hearts, 9 of spades, king of diamonds, 3 of spades, 7 of spades, 5 of spades, king of clubs, 7 of clubs.
Now I know that's not that card either because there was 2 clubs together. Continue dealing.
5 of diamonds, ace of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 8 of spades, 7 of hearts, 3 of diamonds, jack of clubs, 8 of clubs.
Again, I know it's not that card either.
2 of spades, 6 of diamonds, jack of diamonds, queen of hearts, king of spades, jack of spades, 2 of clubs, 3 of clubs, 4 of spades, 4 of diamonds, queen of spades, queen of diamonds, 6 of spades, 4 of hearts, 9 of clubs, 4 of clubs,
Still not there.
king of hearts, excuse me, 10 of spades, 9 of diamonds, jack of hearts, 5 of hearts, 2 of hearts, 10 of clubs, 3 of hearts.
Now, I heard a club. The next card was not a club. That has to be his selection. It's the only card that can possibly be sandwiched between 2 clubs. But he continues dealing.
5 of clubs, 8 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds, and 7 of diamonds.
Now in this case, it just so happens that his card is near the bottom of the deck. So I allow him to complete the deck. Normally I would let him go maybe 5 or 6 cards more and then stop him and say, you know, I get the feeling that you said your card recently. Is that correct? Of course he says it was correct. In this case, I'm going to let him complete the deck and say, you know, I'm very, very uncertain now. I did get a feeling on one of the cards. In fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure your card was a black card, very high up, a spade. Was it the 3 of hearts? So what I've done there is I've made a revelation out of naming it. I've named apparently completely the wrong card up until the point that I actually say the name of the card. That's a very strong revelation. Alternatively, I could take the cards and find the card and put it down. That's another way of locating the card. But I know what the card is. So as soon as he's named it and gone past a few, I stop him, I wait, I build the revelation, and then I name the card. And it's very, very difficult for them to figure out how that was done. It's called a non-poker voice. The sliding key card is a very devious way of setting a known card beside the spectator's card, because the spectator can place his card anywhere in the deck that he likes. Now to do this, you need to know the bottom card of the deck. Let's use a glimpse. It's the 4 of clubs, and we've marked it as a key card. And any card can be selected. So I spread the cards between my hands and invite Jeff to take any card. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to take the cards and spread them, but this time I'm going to push and pull with these fingers. So I'm going to push that card out like that. So as I spread the cards, this finger contacts here and pulls that card out. Now an important part of this slide is that this finger maintains the front of the deck so that this card does not pop forward as I try and pull it to the side. So by placing it here, it keeps the card in alignment with the rest of the deck as I pull it out. And I keep pulling it to here. Okay? This is actually quite difficult to do, but if you spend a little bit of time with the deck, get it to just about this position, don't spread too far, place your hand underneath, so you're taking the deck, and pull with that finger over to here. Now look at that card. It's riding underneath the deck. If I keep spreading with this thumb, all of these cards will slide underneath the key card. So as I spread off like this, I pull the card over, and I keep spreading, and I invite Jeff to place it anywhere. So place it anywhere, Jeff. There. Now look what happens here. Jeff has placed it there. If I break the spread for just a second, the lowermost card, even though it's pulled all the way to the right, is the key card. So as I close up, that key card naturally slides on top of his card, like this. In this case, I'll leave that card sticking out so you can see the key card is now directly above it. Let's do that one more time. Take your card. I'm going to spread the cards like this. Okay. This time, Jeff, I want you to place it in so that they can see where it goes. So place it in there, like that. Okay. So I break the spread at that point and close up, placing the key card directly above his card. Now you can also do it without breaking the spread. To do that, take the card, exactly as before, spread, pull the card over, slide the card in, and then I simply pull up a little bit and push in. Now that takes a little bit of practice, but as soon as you see where their card goes, you've pulled the card over, as soon as you see where their card goes, let's imagine they place it here, you simply just lift up a little bit and slide the card on top. It's a very, very powerful move.